welcome back. We're getting started, episode 4. We are going to continue down the path that we were heading on episode 3. Once I get up to speed and can throw on the cruise control, and then we're going to go down the DoorDash track. And I feel that's something that a lot of youth, young adults starting their first jobs, second jobs, that they get trapped in. A few years ago, I was working at an urgent care in upstate New York. So we would be there all day. It was a 12-hour shifts, and everyone would take their half hour for lunch. And generally, I would bring in my lunch with me. We had a refrigerator that we could put it in, and that was my lunch for the day. And so many of the young kids, every day they were door dashing something, and it wasn't just lunch. We would come in, and we had one young lady. She would door dash Dunkin' Donuts. And I would sit there and look at my coworker that I worked with, and I'd be like, did she just DoorDash Dunkin' Donuts? We had a Dunkin' Donuts right across the road. Like she could have walked across the road and got Dunkin' Donuts. She could have walked across the road and got McDonald's if she wanted to. We had, then there was a convenience store just two doors down. She could have went over there and got anything to eat at the convenience store, because most convenience stores have everything and anything. And again, that's another day for another story, to go over convenience stores. So DoorDash, so these individuals would order DoorDash every day for lunch, and I was like, what are you guys paying for DoorDash? I mean, fast food wasn't cheap to begin with. Excuse me. And they were paying, $12, $13, $14 just for their meal, $4 or $5 delivery charge plus the tip. So it's probably upwards of $20, $25 to DoorDash fast food. And I'm like, that's just insane. I'm like, I just couldn't, you got a half hour for lunch, you could have ordered something and drove 5 minutes away and picked it up, I just couldn't believe it. We were a facility that you could actually leave the site and go get something if you wanted to, as long as it was close enough. But I just always made the financial decision that it was cheaper to prepare a lunch, or maybe even a dinner, because we were there for 12-hour days. I would get there about 7:45 in the morning, and then I wouldn't leave until about 8:15 in the evening. So by the time you were done with your day, you normally had breakfast, or you had lunch. Some days you had breakfast, lunch, and dinner there. Especially doing a 12-hour day shift. But it just would amaze me how much they would DoorDash all the time. And my youngest daughter, we have a joint checking account where she gets her paycheck. She deposits her paycheck in there. But I can also go in there and I can see what she spends money on. And there's been a few times I've brought up to her, I'm like, look, you really should not be DoorDashing anything and everything. Taco Bell, as I used in the last example, but she's same thing. She would DoorDash Dunkin' Donuts just to get her coffee. I'm like, learn to make coffee. It's not hard. And I'm like, it's just mind-boggling. And then those same individuals will complain that they don't have money to pay their bills. Matter of fact, I think one individual, she would DoorDash all the time. she was delinquent on her debts, and she would come to work and complain about being delinquent on her debts. And I'm like, yet you're still door dashing, and then you're oversharing at work. I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you DoorDash and pay outrageous price? I mean, you figure if it's $25, you're working 4 days a week, and if we were anywhere from 3 to 4 days a week, that's still $75 a day. But even the $25, the individual was probably making $16 an hour at a time. So you're almost 2 hours of what time you spent working was to pay for your lunch that day. And I just couldn't fathom it. I'm like, it's so much easier to make something at home and bring it. I mean, cooking isn't that hard. Follow the instructions on the box, Google a recipe, and I mean, recipes are step by step. Hell, they even have videos that you can watch. But if you're a young kid and you're living off DoorDash and you're struggling to make ends meet, or you find that you're not able to save money for like something big you want, rethink your finances, rethink what you're spending money on, rethink what you're doing with your hard-earned money, because it's your time and effort going in to earning your money, and then how are you choosing to spend it? You could be one of those individuals like, I don't feel like cooking at home all the time, so I want to DoorDash or eat out. It's easier, it's simple. Well, you're paying that. And I'm definitely not a fan of DoorDash. I don't use the service. I don't like it because I feel like it punishes everybody else a little bit too, because it's not just, you're not the only one paying DoorDash for that order. That restaurant's paying a cut to them too, because they're facilitating the sale basically. So DoorDash, Uber Eats, whatever they are, and I always see that I get ads every day like $50 in free food from Uber Eats, and I never take advantage of that, because I know what they're doing is they're just trying to they're making money off it no matter what. They're making money off these. They're making money from the restaurant they're buying. They're making money, on the delivery fees. It's convenient. It's nice, but don't overuse it. Don't fall into the trap, where all your money is going to DoorDash. Or restaurants. Learn to cook, and learn to be good at what you do. Learn how to watch some cooking shows, and it's not a hard thing to do. All right, if you like this, I know this was a rather short one. Hit the thumbs up, hit subscribe. I'm going to try to have more and more of these out. If there's something you want me to talk about, leave it in the comments down below. I'll dig through them. We'll find some good stuff. I'm trying to talk about things that I'm familiar with minimal research. There are some topics coming up that I'm going to have to do some research, and it's still going to be unscripted. But there's ones that I need to do some more research on. There's one that I want to do one about convenience stores, and in the past I remember watching a documentary discussing convenience stores, and I want to watch that documentary or watch a few videos. But later today we're going to have episode 5. I'm not going to get all these up in the same day, obviously, because I still have to go in and edit these. But I'm going to have to do. I am going to do episode 5 today. A little bit later, I have another long drive to do. It's going to be a short one. And this one's going to be a little bit different. This one's going to be about a YouTube channel that I often find myself watching and enjoying. And he has several different channels. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about this YouTube channel. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not even going to drop the name of the YouTube channel. He is a really good YouTuber. He's got a couple different channels that cover different topics, and a lot of information out there that's just can suck you in. So I just want to talk about that one. All right, I'm out of here. Check in later. Have a good day.